This is the second mission on the first map which I'm playing. The map is Mos Eisley Outskirts and the mission is Smuggled Goods. And the mission says a figure can retrieve a contraband, apply -2 speed to each figure carrying a contraband. And then it has, at the end of each round, each player gains 15 victory points for each of his figure carrying contraband in his deployment zone. Then discard those tokens. So you need to collect the tokens and bring them to your deployment zone. The thing with this mission is that you apply -2 speed, but you don't lose movement points. So if you stand next to a contraband or a mission token, you can activate your figure and then gain the movement points by the movement action, and then pick up the crate and still have your movement points left. So and since they are worth 15 points, that's quite a lot. I think on this map, or this mission in particular, you should try and concentrate on getting those crates for yourself and try and prevent the enemy or your opponent to get them. On this map, the Imperials have the initiative. I've placed my Imperial figures so that I have divided them up with the elite stormtroopers grouped with Darth Vader, and the rest of my troopers and the other officer and the Imperial probe droid on the left side of the deployment zone for the Imperials, so that those groups can get a hold of the command terminal and the contraband token on the left side, which is a very advantageous position, I think, because it's behind the door. The door is just, you can just open it, but that takes an activation or an action rather. So I think as the rebels, I'm wanting to get that door open as soon as possible. Not only to contest the terminal or the contraband token for the mission, but if I open it, I have quite a good line of sight for shooting down that hallway. And for the rebels, I decided to put my 2 melee units on the top right side of the deployment zone with Gideon backing them up, and my ranged units on the bottom left side close to the door. They're also close to the contraband in the middle of the map, and let's see how this goes. I've drawn the command cards, and the Imperial starts. I start to activate the Imperial officer next to Darth Vader, which I order to move 2 spaces, and then move up to get as close to the terminal as possible. I think it's very advantageous to have support units like the Imperial officer and Gideon to activate on the first round, in the beginning of the first round, to move your troopers and high hitting units to see what the other player positions their figures, so you can act on as late as possible with your strong units and be in as good as a position as you can get. Like now I'm activating Gideon, giving Garkhaan focus, and I think I end up moving Mac, which is the long range unit on the left side. Yep, move him up to get closer to the door and get a better position. Like now I activate the other Imperial officer, and I think I want to move either one of my troopers closer to the contraband or the terminal, or just make my slow probe droid be in a better position for the fight. I think there's gonna be a fight for the door or the token next to the door. Instead, I move the Imperial officer closer to Darth Vader and moving him up 2 spaces. So now it's just 4 or 3 movement points spaces from either the contraband or the terminal. Now I activate Luke because I think I'm gonna try and not to concentrate too much firepower on the top right corner of the map with the rebels. I'm gonna try and take the contraband on the left side just behind the door. So Luke just moves up to the door and open it so he can take the contraband next turn. And now I also have quite a good shot if the troopers and the probe droid moves up and try to take the terminal, or the more importantly the contraband token. So I'm in a better position with both Fenn and with Mac, which are my hard-hitting ranged units. So I'll activate the regular stormtroopers, which I have on the left side of the deployment zone of the Imperials, and I think I'm gonna place him right on top. I think that's quite a good position for him, right on top of the terminal. And the other 2, I'm gonna move up as close as I can, and I even get a shot off with one of them. So that's 4 range. That's good enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. And not forgetting the inherent block of Luke. That's the black die. 1 damage goes through, and 1 surge gives the stormtrooper 1 extra damage. So 2 damage on Luke. The squad training does make him able to reroll. I don't know if I forgot or missed. But so Luke has 2 damage on him. Luke with the white die has a chance of block, or a total block with the evade or X-Men, but he also has a chance to just roll blank with the white die. So that's what's happened with him now. And with the rebels now, I'll activate Mac and take one of those long shots. I think that's 5 spaces away. And I think I make a mistake here because of how line of sight works. Or maybe I can do it from the corner of his lower right corner. Maybe. So that's the roll as 5 range, and the surge for Mac is often used to do the critical hit, which means pierce 2, that's -2 blocks for the defense. That means 2 damage goes through, and when that figure is defeated, the opponent discards 1 random card. But he is not defeated, he takes 2 damage, has 1 health left. And use the last movement points to get closer to the middle. But still not in range. I'm trying to get close to the ship, but also hide him from the elite stormtroopers that have not activated yet. That's always a balance. You have to, if you want to try and play aggressive and go for the contraband, or if you rather position your units well. And that depends whether your unit is good at taking damage, which Mac is not. He has a white die, so he can dodge, but or make the evade roll, but he only has 4 health, so he goes down pretty quickly. Now, the last activation, or no, the activation of the Imperials, I used the probe droid to back up Darth Vader and the officers over on the right side. And now I think I chose to activate the probe droid instead of Darth Vader or the elite stormtroopers, because I think they're better saved for when I can actually do some serious damage. And if I wait, there might be a positioning that the rebels do that the Imperials then can take advantage of. So for the rebels, I activate Fenn and move up. I think I just double move here just to get him in position to take the contraband next round. But I think that the Imperials have also a strong chance of getting it next turn. The thing is that the rebels should have initiative next round, so my plan with the rebels is to get as close to the contraband as possible and take 1 or maybe 2 contrabands at the beginning of the next round. And now I activate the Stormtrooper. I think I activate them first because I want to see what the rebel wants to do with their melee units. And get the stormtroopers in position to snatch or threaten to take the contraband at the beginning of the second round. So now I'm trying to figure out if I can get some shots off at Fenn, because taking down Fenn is really good. Even though he's sturdy, I think he has 10 health. He hits really hard with 3 dice, so taking him out would be very advantageous for the Imperial player. And that's a good defense roll. Straight up. Yeah, I have the range, but with 4 damage, 3 is taken away, 1 goes through. I'll do the same shot with the other Stormtrooper, which also has range. I can reroll. I made a mistake there, and I should not have rerolled because of this particular situation where I lose the range because of the reroll. But either way, I activate the last Stormtrooper and move him up to the contraband. I think I have take initiative, so that's my plan with those guys for the Imperials. And then for the Rebels, I'm gonna try and activate Garkhaan, I think, yeah. So the thing about Garkhaan is that he has a special ability called Charged, where he can move up a number of spaces equal to his speed, which is 4, and perform an attack. So he can then, what I do with him is that I activate him, make a move, and then make a charge. So I can move up to 8 spaces and still attack. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm hitting the officer with Garkhaan. I think that should be 3 damage, and yeah, I don't know why I just put 2 damage on him. I think I miscounted. There should also be a reroll available for the officer. Anyway, the Darth Vader on the Imperial side activates, and he's standing next to a juicy target. Activates, uses the brutality, performs 2 attacks on Garkhaan. Garkhaan defends pretty poorly. He has 1 inherent block, so 2 blocks. That makes 1, 2, and then pierce 3, so 4 damage. I think he has 10 health, so almost half. And I think I'm just gonna attack again. There's no... Oh, yep, and that's pretty bad. That's a bad defense roll and a good attack roll. That's 5 damage, so we're up to 8 damage total. I also see now that I forgot that I had focus on Garkhaan, which would definitely have killed the officer. I think it's quite hard to remember. I have trouble moving the damage and focus and tokens that relate to your characters, so that's the thing that I need to get better at. And it's quite cluttered with all the damage token lying around, so I'm thinking maybe I should put them on the deployment card instead, maybe. Anyway, I finish off Garkhaan with the Force Choke ability of Darth Vader. That's 2 damage. And Garkhaan is taken out, which is, I think, 10 points for the Imperials. And we're at the end of round. We ready all over the deployment cards, draw cards, and I control 1 terminal each, so they both draw 2 cards, and there are no contraband in the deployment zones, so no victory points. And here we can see I played the take initiative for the Imperials, but I forget to exhaust a card for it, so cheating a little bit. But and the plan for me to take the contraband with the stormtroopers is out the window. And I activate Darth Vader, attacks Diala. Diala dodges the first attack. The second attack, he uses her ability to reroll, which was kind of bad for her. Instead of just taking 3 damage, she takes 5. And I move him up a bit. So now the plan is just to take the contraband and move Diala as close to the rebel deployment zone as possible. So now the second round I chose to activate the strongest units first, on the Imperial side at least. And now I go ahead with the plan of taking the contraband with the Stormtrooper and moving all the closer to the deployment zone of the Imperials. And the other Stormtroopers go ahead and try and take down Diala and her contraband that she's carrying. That's 4 damage. That's more than enough. She has 2 health left. So she's gonna try and reroll to save her life. And the same outcome with the reroll. So she goes down. The Imperials gain another 7 points, which put them firmly in the lead with 17 points. On the other hand, the contraband are quite swingy in this map and mission, so anything could happen. As you can see, I used the last Stormtrooper to take the contraband that she was carrying, which she dropped. And that's the activation of the Imperials. I think that was kind of a game-winning round. It usually is. The second round in the beginning are, I think, the crucial moments often in these games. And I'm trying to salvage the situation for the rebels by picking up the contraband with Luke. He has 5 speed, so he uses up his movement points to move with the contraband to safeguard the 15 points, which is almost as much as the Imperials have, with 2 figures dead on the rebel side. Although the rebels are at a disadvantage, they have fewer activations now and less figures to attack with, so even though Luke has the contraband in the deployment zone of the rebels, the Imperials have the upper hand quite strongly. So the thing with this mission is, as I said before, I think you should focus more on the objectives of the map. But if you can do both, that's quite good. Like taking down Diala that has the contraband was a game-winning move, I think. And yeah, the officer moves Darth Vader and moves into position to control the terminal, while the rebels activates Mac to try and take down one of the elite stormtroopers. I think the plan here is, that's a good defense roll. I think that's a bust. He can pierce 2. That makes 1 damage go through. And I think there's a mistake here because the figure needs to die for the critical hit discard effect to take place. So I need to read the cards better. He then tries to move away. He only has 4 health, so he's not very good against a horde of stormtroopers. So the plan is to get him out of range. It's quite difficult because of the terrain in that area and the positioning of the stormtroopers, both the regulars and the elite ones. The regulars haven't even activated yet, and I think they're gonna try and get some shot of at Mac. So I have yet to activate the probe droid, which I do now. I'm not sure what the plan is with the droid, but I think, yeah, maybe it's gonna take a shot at Fenn. He has 1 damage on him, that's something. And I don't think I have the range here. They don't have a surge ability for range, so it's just what the dice say, and they say 3 in this case, and I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a miss. And the rebels activate and get Gideon to... Yeah, I don't think you want to be near that cluster of Imperial troopers and Darth Vader. So the plan is to put all eggs in Fenn's basket, move back and focus Fenn. The Imperial officer moves up and tries to get as close as possible to Darth Vader and the contraband carrying elite stormtrooper, and on the way makes the probe droid move 2 spaces. The only thing left for the rebels to do is to activate Fenn, and I think the plan is just to shoot the stormtroopers, both of them, to make them drop the contraband, and that's the plan. I don't think it's a very good plan because I don't know what to do next, because I don't have anyone picking that crate up, but that's the plan. Now I remember the focus, so that's an extra die, that's 4 dice. I have the range, it's a lot of damage, and I even have a surge for blast 1, which puts 1 damage on the second stormtrooper as well. Yep. That's the first 3 points for the rebels. And he takes in his second shot. That's also good. Lot of damage. That's, yep, all the damage. And 1 block doesn't cut it. So that's 6 points for the rebels. And the last activation of the round are the stormtroopers on the left side, moving up to maybe take a shot at Gideon, which is just standing in the open. And so that's a 4/5 ranged attack, which they usually make. That's 5 exactly. Or do I need... No. That's 5 and 1 damage for the surge. So 2 damage goes through, which is 1 short. No, Gideon takes 2 damage, but he has a health of 5, so that's 3 left for him. I move out of the way for a second Stormtrooper to stand next to the first one and get a reroll. So let's see if this works. Might have counted the movement wrong there, but it's 6 range, that's good. That's 3 damage minus 1, so 2 damage, and he has 1 health left. Yep, and now I think I see my mistake. Doesn't matter, I just move past him and do the last attack of the round, which is 3 damage total, and Gideon is down. That's 20 points, I think, for the Imperials. And that means that this is the end of the round, and yep, that focus token is gone. Do a little bit of cleanup, and at the end of the round you ready all of the deployment cards. I'm gonna check if I have any command cards that I wish to play, and I do. I should have played when he died, but since I didn't have any other activations, it's fine. That was Celebration, a command card that gets you 4 extra victory points when killing a unique unit, I think. So that should be 24 points for the Imperials then. Now I'm counting up the points for the rebels. At the end of the round they get the 15 victory points for the contraband in their deployment zone. So they're up to 21. So 21 to 24. So it's kind of close, but the Imperials have the lead. I should have stayed back with 1 more regular Stormtrooper by the lower side to have 1 extra command card, but I think it's fine. It's fine. Now the Imperials passes the initiative token to the rebels and activates Fenn. And I don't know, the plan is just to take out the Stormtrooper with the contraband, and I use Element of Surprise, which if you do not have line of sight to the one at the start of your activation to the target, you can play it and the target doesn't get to roll, or you remove 1 defense die. And that's enough for the Imperial to lose the last one of the Stormtroopers, and the rebels now gain 3 more points, which push them at 24. So I think it's 24-24. And on the Imperial side, I just activated and moved with Darth Vader, who now has the contraband. So it's looking kind of tough for the rebels to try and finish this, because both of the contrabands are so close to the Imperial deployment zone now. So this is a desperate attack just to try and kill something and get score points that way. And there's a range. And I think, yeah, I misplayed that once again. The figure was not defeated, so the discard should not happen. And yeah, since the probe droid survived, I might as well use him before he bites the dust. I can also activate the Imperial officer to move Darth Vader. But I activate the probe droid and pick up the contraband just to secure it. I don't think I could have taken it with the rebels anyhow. The rebels activate with Luke Skywalker. I am unsure what to do, because that's the situation is quite dire. There's no way for me to kill anyone carrying contraband, so I'm desperately trying to move as close as I can and get a shot off at something. I think it would be better if I maybe killed Stormtrooper or something, but this is just a desperation act. Trying to kill officer, which has 1 health left. And that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 range. I think I have it. And that's 2 damage. It's 2 points for the rebels. 26. I'll just activate the last Imperial officer standing and moving Darth Vader and protecting him by closing in on him, closing off that space. And all the activations on the rebel side has gone, so the regular Stormtrooper get to go. And it's just gonna move back. Stay put. Control the terminal. Second one moves up. Maybe takes a shot at Mac. I think that's what I should have done with the other one as well, but now I rearrange the damage tokens, which I have a problem of remembering where they should be. This is... yeah, I think this match, if you look at it, it should be over, because there's no way the Imperials get the initiative next round, activates with Darth Vader, moves in, score 15 points, but that doesn't... I don't think that's enough. So the Stormtrooper took a shot, put 1 damage on Mac. Mac has 3 health left. I think that's 1 damage, 1 health left. Maybe I think that's enough. Yep, with a reroll I get enough damage on him to take him out. And Mac I think is 4 points, so the Imperials goes to 28. That should be enough. With the Imperials having initiative and Darth Vader having 2 of his speed left, so that's 2 movement points, and there's. But you have to. The points are being distributed at the end of round, so there is a point to playing it out because you still have Fenn and Luke. Drawing some cards, and now the initiative goes, and playing the take initiative for the rebels. I'm forgetting to exhaust an activation. Taking a shot with Fenn. That's 5 damage I think. And that should be enough to kill it. That's 3 more points. 29 for the rebels, 28 for the Imperials I think. And I even blast one on to both the Imperial officer and on Darth Vader. And I am not sure if I forget to activate him again to shoot again. That's a possibility. When you have to play both sides you get quite tired. But you make mistakes and forget some rules or play the wrong card at the wrong time. So now I'm going through the cards, which I should do more often. Alright, I do the second attack. I attack Darth Vader because he is carrying the contraband. Darth Vader's player, the Imperial, is playing Deflection, which gets the attack gets -2 range, I think. And if you don't do any damage with the attacker, 2 damage goes onto the attacker. And I don't have the range now actually. And I don't have any rerolls to make the range or use to search for range because of the search block on the defense die. So the deflection works actually. It's quite a situational card. But I activate Vader, gain some movement points, and then move back into the deployment zone with him. Even though he hits like a truck, when you can score 30 points, that's a winning move, I think. Now there's only Luke left. Luke's just gonna run. he can't actually make it all the way to take a shot at Darth Vader carrying the contraband. So he's just trying to kill the officer dodges and takes no damage at all. I even activate the officer, move him to the deployment zone, and move Darth Vader even more into a more secure area, which is kind of redundant because there's no activation left for the rebels. So that's a win once again for the Imperial List that I created with the core box and with the core box only. And the list of both the Rebel player and the Imperial player I can post in show notes beneath the video if you would like. And I am not so fond of this map. The rule with the -2 speed when you pick up the contraband is quite weird. It should be that you lose movement points or something, or maybe that the contraband isn't worth that much. 15 points per crate, it's quite a lot. I played this map with a friend of mine and he had Boba Fett and could, in the first round, pick up a crate and move back and score 15 points in the first round, which I think it's a little bit ridiculous. But the layout of the map is okay. I think the one starting at the bottom right corner here has an advantage, which I said in the beginning, with the closed door behind the terminal by the left side, where you can position quite safely and control that area of the map pretty easy. And the big open field in the middle is like a real battlefield. There's no safe spots, maybe 1 or 2 spots, but yeah. And I think that's it for this time. And this was the next time I'm gonna look at Darth Vader's map and the 2 missions that came with the box in Darth Vader's missions. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.